Hi, friends. This is Solomon Jagwe. Welcome back to another quick chat and insight. And if you're new to my channel, I kindly ask that you spare a minute to subscribe to and also hit that notification bell so you're alerted when I post a new video. So today, I wanted to share some thoughts about a quick memory that Facebook, you know how Facebook does every now and then they bring in, they show up a memory from like some 2 years or 3 years back. So this memory is about a photo that I shared online, and it has to do with my first computer that I ever owned. That is the one right there. My daughter saw it one time, saw a photo of it, and then she asked me, "What are those things that are on the desk right there?" And she even saw the phone right there. She's like, "What is that, Dad?" So I had to explain to her how I started out, how I had a dream of creating animated movies and tell stories and write scripts and things like that. And then I showed her, my desk right now. What you're looking at is, the kind of computers that we're using right now, flat screen monitors that vary, in quality to like what I used back then. But the thing that stuck out the most to me is that I even back then when I had those computers, I still had a big desire to animate and tell stories. That desire never waned. So even as I struggled with the memory, with the kind of dream that I had, because it brings me, reminds me of that story of how James Cameron, when he wanted to start up, when he was creating Avatar, it took him 10 years to make because the technology hadn't caught up to his dream. For my part, for sure, I had a dream that was bigger than the technology that was available at the time. I wanted to tell these stories, incredible stories. And for some reason, I didn't have access to the technology that I have now. And because of this technology, I was able to, with my team, create an animated film that has actually won 2 awards, Best Animation Awards. But it all started here. It all started with that old technology back then. I used to connect that little monitor right there to do the editing. I remember having to plug in cables to a VCR. My kids have no idea what those things are. So even seeing a phone like that with a code on it and the scanner and the boxy monitor, it seems lost on them or the challenges that we had to face. So in a way, I am glad that I went through the struggles, the challenges, and the technology struggles that I did, because it makes me, it has formed how appreciative I am of the technology that we have now. Because back then, I had no idea, for example, that Oculus would come around, and that would have all these cool technologies like motion capture for that I use on my animated characters from the Adventures of Nkosa and Nancha for our animated TV series, and I never stopped dreaming. And I continue to draw and sketch, just like you see right there. And you can actually see some of those sketches still here. I keep those sketches because they remind me of where I came from and the desire to write these stories and bring them to life. No matter how old the technology was, no matter how difficult it was to work with those computers, I knew that someday, if I held on long enough, if I kept working hard, that I would eventually be able to get to the point where I am right now. And teamwork has been one of the best assets, is because you can't create in a vacuum. There comes a point where you can only do so much as an individual. At this point, I look at my young self and I know the dreams that I had in my brain, but I knew how limited I was because there were so many people who were better than me out there. And it wasn't until I actually joined several defense contracting companies that were creating video games for the military that I met people like Nelson, who inspired me so much, who taught me. And he was a black man doing something that I was aspiring to do. And so my desire right now is to do my best to help other artists and animators and dreamers like myself who are dreaming big, but they don't have the technology to bring their dreams to life. I want to help. I want to continue to inspire. That's why I'm creating these tutorials and these insights, because as long as you have an example of someone who has done it before you, I think it makes it much easier for you to continue dreaming. Because I know, for example, James Cameron, when he was creating Avatar, he had created Titanic, for example, and he had seen how successful it had been, and of course he had seen other directors create other movies, sci-fi movies, but he had a dream, and he never gave up, and he waited and continued working hard until the technology came along. And for me, I am grateful that the technology finally caught up to my dream to be able to create the adventures of Nkoza and Nancha, and to be able to use that to actually help parents and kids learn about our cultural heritage and to be proud of our languages using animation as a medium to tell those stories. I am super grateful to everyone that has come alongside me, who has helped me. My teammate Bruno Sekandi, who I've been with in the trenches, my wife, of course, my kids, like my daughter, who asks questions that continue to remind me of where I have been and how I continue to work hard towards that dream. So, guys, I encourage you, please don't give up on your dream. Continue to dream big, and do please spare a minute to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're alerted when I post a new video. And I'm going to do my best to continue sharing different tutorials and insights to help others like myself who are on a similar path pursuing that storytelling dream. So thank you so much, guys. See you next time with another insight and tutorial. Thank you so much. Bye.